Hello, everybody. This is Bill Frisell, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all on March 18th when I'll be with Charles Lloyd and Larry Grenadier.
Hi, I'm Gerald Clayton. I'll be playing piano with Charles Lloyd, Ocean Trio with Anthony Wilson.
The first Downbeat magazine I bought in high school, there was Charles was on the cover. So I bought this magazine, and there's this guy on the cover, and wow, look at this. He looks so cool. I didn't know what the music sounded like, but I wanted to find out. So my best friend and I, we got tickets. He was coming to play in Denver. This was January of 1969. He came to Denver.
The Ocean Trio is a really special sort of California homegrown trio with me on piano and the great Anthony Wilson on guitar, another California homeboy. And I think there is a kind of a like-mindedness there. You know, maybe it's all the avocados and burritos we have together.
We use that term a lot, having your mind blown, right? My mind was blown. Literally, it was. It's all I've done since then is try to figure out what's happening with music. And so Charles is such an important part of it.
The music we play is almost secondary, you know. He has collected a beautiful book of music since the 60s, and you know, interchanging the musicians that serve the music in the orchestra, you know, is the new music, is the new song.
I've also gotten to play with a lot of great singers throughout my life, and I listen to singers, and I've said that often that Charles is, you know, one of the greatest singers I've ever played with. The very first gig I did with him was at the Montreal Jazz Festival. I didn't quite know what was going to happen. I didn't know what we were going to do. We didn't really have a rehearsal or anything. And I arrive in Montreal, and he said, "Hey, come, you know, why don't you come by my hotel room?" And basically what the rehearsal amounted to was him saying, he opened the door, welcomed me, and he said, "I'm looking forward to singing with you tonight." That's what he said. "I'm looking forward to singing with you tonight." And that's what we've been doing ever since.
There's really something magical about Charles Lloyd in that whether there's drums or bass on the gig, you know, whether or not those musicians or instruments are actually there, you still feel them. You still hear the entire orchestra. You know, you hear the timpanis, you hear the cellos and the basses in all the music, regardless of who's playing. It could be a solo gig, it could be a duo gig, and somehow he manages to channel that. It's always there. I find that really kind of magical.
The Chapel Trio came about. Charles had heard me play some with Thomas Morgan, who I play with quite a bit and have a incredibly strong chemistry with him. Charles heard that and had this idea for the three of us to play together. It's called the Coates Chapel, I believe, in San Antonio. And Charles talked about when he first, I guess it was sometime before we actually played in there, he had been in there, and that had fired up his imagination about wanting to play in there, and then specifically with that group, with this group of people. The songs themselves are alive, you know, they keep growing, and every time we play them you find something else in there. So I'm just excited to see what's going to happen.